This backlash against Ice Cube has got me confused. So Ice Cube came up with a plan called the Contract with Black America, which is like a plan to help the situation in the black community. And from what I understand, Ice Cube worked on the plan along with some experts over the last few months and eventually proposed the idea to both Democrats and Republicans. And it seems that after reaching out to both parties, the Democrats told Ice Cube that they will look into it after the election, while the Republicans took a look at it and said they would give $500 billion to the black community. Now look, I think the skepticism of Donald Trump's actual desire to help the black community makes sense, given that he really hasn't done much. But what has me lost is the amount of attacks that I've seen on Ice Cube on behalf of the Democrats. And I get it, Trump is Trump, but Biden has been in office longer than Trump, and not only has he done little to actually cause any significant changes in the black community, but he's actually done things to make conditions worse. And if we're gonna focus on things Trump has said in the past, why isn't this same criticism done to Biden's past remarks? Just recently, Biden said that black people aren't black if they don't vote for him. This man has a record of saying a bunch of racially insensitive things, but for some reason, it seems to be getting overlooked by some, and I don't get it. What also bothers me is those who like to cancel people didn't cancel him for any of this, but instead, Ice Cube, whose intentions seem to be good, gets canceled instead. And that's kind of bugged out. For a while now, the Democrats have received a high percentage of the black vote during the elections, and still the conditions in the black community could be much better. The way Biden speaks at times is like he feels he doesn't have to do much to get the black vote. And if the conditions aren't getting better, what's the point of limiting discussions with the Democratic Party if it looks like they're just taking the black community for granted? Also, again, Ice Cube said he reached out to the Democrats, so people criticizing them for working with President Trump makes no sense. It looks like he was willing to speak to the Democrats. And let's say if his plans are misguided, why ignore the intentions but give support to a person who has actually done things that have had a negative impact on the community without the same type of criticism? This was kind of disheartening to see, and again, it doesn't make sense to me.